Alright, here we are in the chapter section 5-2 with identities. You'll notice on page 455 it gives you some general strategies for working with these. And it says begin with one side of the identity. Start with the one that is more complicated. Okay, General Strategies Part 2 says take the one that's more complicated and work it until it looks like the one that's less complicated. So I'm going to focus on the left side of this equation. Then it tells me combine fractions by creating the common denominator. So working with just the left hand side, I notice that I want this to be over x. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by x. Now I can combine the fractions. So now I can say x to the third minus x squared minus this whole thing, okay, which I'm going to combine these two things right there. Should be obvious to you. Again, it says in the book, obvious is in the eye of the beholder, so err on the side of doing more work. But I think that you guys can know that this turns into that. I've given it the common denominator, so I can just combine the numerators over x. And I'm going to continue working a bit. I'm going to say that it looks like everything has an x in here. Okay, I have an x right here that I can factor out from this one, so that becomes 1. This x squared becomes x to the first, x cubed becomes x squared. So now, rewriting everything, after I simplify by dividing by x, this is what I have. I can see that I'm just subtracting x squared and then subtracting -1. So I'm going to rewrite it again without the parentheses. Subtracting a -1 is just like adding 1. Alright, I've got x squared minus x squared. Those disappear. And I have this. Flipping it around, I have that. And if we go back to what I started with, sure enough, alright, this is equal to x minus 1. Okay, we saw that it came from way up there. Sorry, not x minus 1, 1 minus x. So, reworking one side of the equation to make it look like the other one, that is how we prove an identity. Good luck.